Right, I'm back again for number 4. I do apologise, I was yapping away and I didn't realise that the camera had run out, that the timer had run out. So in case I missed it, the MK1 kit has the replacements for the reels. Pontos doesn't. Unless these are replacements, but there's not enough. There's only 3, 4, 5, there's only 5 in there. And there's nothing that looks like a reel that you would have. So Pontos don't supply replacement, don't supply anything for the various fire reels and water reels and what have you. These, I think they will come in the Pontos advanced kit. So the blast bags are fine, they're about the same. I think the Pontos ones are bigger. They're slightly larger, look. So the Pontos ones are slightly larger. Oh, well, only just. But the holes are certainly larger, so there's a difference there. So you've got 8 of them. And then we've got the small. God, they all look about the same. So they're not too bad. The resin from MK1 is as good as the resin from Pontos. Apart from colour. Oh, right, break that apart easy. Very good. I suppose that's the same. Actually, that's a good idea because you can't do that with this. So you can get the gun barrels and you can get the blast bags off in 2 pieces. So that's a better idea. So these are quite nice. Looking at the sides, yeah, there's a lot more detail in the Pontos one. I don't know if you can pick it up very well. But there's a lot more detail in that Pontos gun barrel blast bag than in the MK1 blast bag. And there's a lot more detail in that as well. Yeah, there's a lot more detail in the blast bags. So that's not too bad. The MK1 one is pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, which one was in which? Oh dear, I've left my part across my pack now. Was that separate? No, it must have been out of the bag. That's the MK1 then, that's the blast bag. So that's the blast bags. That's the last parts for MK1, so let's put that out of the way. We don't want to do that, do we? So then we have, wow, they are sharp. Cool, that's needle sharp. I'll have to look into that. So let's have a look. They've gone through the bag, look. So these are MK1 don't supply propeller shafts. No, they're horrible, aren't they? It's almost worth. I don't know. No, I can't find the plastic ones. I don't know where the plastic ones are. Bear with me. Let's see if we can find. You do sometimes find that the plastic parts are better. T1, T2 and T1. ABC. T1, T2. Okay. T. Wonderful. So there's the plastic propellers. That's interesting because the Pontos propellers are a lot smaller. They seem to have the same sharpness, but as far as the actual propeller itself goes, it's quite heavy. And you can see they're a completely different shape and a completely different size, and there's no hole in them. That's interesting. So that's presumably got propeller shaft. No, there is. So that's going to be interesting to make a note of that. I'll have to check on that and find out if these propellers are in proportion to these plastic ones. plastic ones are certainly bigger. But this will have to have something done to it, because that is way too shiny. No, you can't. No, you can't scrape that off. No, you can't scrape it off. So that's obviously brass. So the propellers are brass. And that kind of weight. They're all the same. So we'll have to think about them propellers. Twitch. So that's all your bits and pieces there. This now I need to go through with a fine tooth comb, put some in separate bags, get it all marked off and counted off, get it all put onto cards like I've done with the MK1 stuff, and then get it all ready for, so I can see what I've actually got. So that's all the stuff that's in that box there. That's quite a lot of stuff. The resin is good. I've no idea what that is. Undoubtedly will come apart across it at some point. This is for the MK1 kit, we haven't put it. So I need a bag for that, I need a box for that. Let's put it to one side. I need a box and a box. So those propellers are not too bad, but I'm going to have to check on them propellers. Absolutely certainly going to have to check on getting rid of them propellers. So now we have a nice bit of foam. I don't know if I've ever really used it for anything, but it's nice. I know there's a little hidden compartment here, by the way. I know the deck is under there, and handrails. So now we have the photo etch. And this is the thing that a lot of people say Pontos are absolutely brilliant for. So let me get this out. I'll do it one part at a time. Let me see if I can get it in line. The light levels have changed now. I can't really get that any lower. Light levels. Let's see if I can get a bit more light in here. That's not made it any better. Slightly, I suppose. Let's see if I can put a light on it. That's not made much difference, is it? So the light levels have changed slightly. Let me see if I can drop the camera down a bit. Oh, God, these things are. Once this thing is in, it's in. God. Right now, forgive me, I'm just trying to. Oh, bugger looks. That could have knackered your camera up, mate. It's alright, I was trying to see if I can get this camera. So, you know, where's the. I got miles out of that. Okay, so obviously this is not going to work, is it? So let's see. I'm going to somehow try and get focused on that. Right, let's take it out of the bag. So this is the photo etch. Got to be careful with this because it's. Maybe it might be. Let me get rid of this. See if you can see it better on the white surface. Not really. Okay, we need to sort something out here. Let's see if I do better on a black surface. Ah, that's better. Right, now. Now I've got to try and move it around so you can actually see what I've got. Right, so I've got no idea what all these pieces are, by the way. And it says on there 1200 Bismarck. Doesn't have Pontos written on it anywhere, which is unusual. But so this is obviously part of a deck. I've got a feeling that's a slip deck. I've got no idea what all these pieces are for, by the way. But I do know that none of this is the MK1 photo etch. We can do a little bit of a comparison here and there. But unfortunately that, oh here we go. So we've got the same sort of stuff here. As here. So it doesn't look too much different. These are slightly bigger. This is a bug really, because that means that if you use one, if you make a mess with one and you use the MK1 one, it's not really going to work. Oh, here's the life raft. Here's the life raft. Right? Now they're in the other one. I've got them. So that's a good point. Somewhere amongst all this lot, I think there's life rings. At least it said there was in the thing. That's interesting. Let's have a look into that one. So that's the first bit of photo etch. We should have bagged it better. Could have probably bagged it a teeny bit better. Okay, we've got the boats. There's two of these. Yeah, these are identical. So this is the boats. So once again we've got boats, and what way are you looking at it? You're looking at it that way. So this is boats and various bits that will go on the portholes. Now those bits with MK1, so there's some of the boats with MK1, they're about, and they're not the same. That's that boat there, that's that one there. So that's interesting, the MK1 boats seem to have an extra bit on the front there, if that's the same ones. And they certainly look it. So we'll have to check into this, but I think Pontos are probably the closest ones to the actual way they look. But the MK1 boats, can you actually see that? The MK1 boats, you see, they're open. They've got those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 little square openings in them. Pontos doesn't. Okay, that's interesting. So let's have a look into that one. And then the portholes for Pontos are there. That's the same boats. And then I've got somewhere, I've got these same, right, so there's the portholes there that come with MK1. They're about the same. So I think the Pontos ones possibly have a little bit more detail in them. But they're not far short of the same. Yeah, make sure I don't get them mixed up here, haven't I? I don't want to mix up the Pontos with the MK1. Right, where did I throw the packet for that? So they're not too bad. They're a bit of a difference between the boats. These are the bits for the cranes. And so the wheels, and then you can see the little bits of photo etch going around them. And like I say, I think it's better to just make up the wheels and use actual proper code on there, rather than photo etched code. So now we have grab rails. Now we're going to come back. Look at all these grab rails. And these are not These are the same with the MK1 kit. They're about the same. Well, hello you. So the dog just wandered in. They're about the same. The Pontos ones look slightly bigger. Hello, what are you doing? Stop touching me knee. What are you doing? Where are you? Come on, come out. So these are the grab rails. If I want to replace them going up the hole, I'm not sure on that. But what you have are all these, and there's no good doing that now, I've already drilled out all the microphones. But you have all these various jigs for doing the drilling. And that means there's loads of it going up the various structures anyway. So that's pretty good for that. But plus these, I hate these ladders, hate them. But with them ladders you have to bend them over, and then you have to bend every rung up to make it connect up. Really horrible. I really can't explain how much I hate them. Hate them! Right, where are we? So we've now got something written on there. Oh, 1,200 Bismarck. So we now have another piece which looks like it's going to go around part of a deck. I think that's a slip thing on the deck. Searchlights, I know that. I hate these handrails, they're so fragile. And we've got these, they look like, I don't know what they are, propellers for the boats. A few ladders. We've got various bits that are going to go around everywhere. Look at these little bits, and they've got rails on them. Football field, obviously. Have a football field on the Bismarck. Or a tennis court. Maybe they play tennis. I just 2 minutes. And then we have something that I don't know what it is. I think it's to do with, it might have something to do with the funnels, but these are one of the funnels. I think we've got the same here. So they're not far short of the same anyway. The MK1 ones look a bit longer, actually are longer. The MK1 ones look like they've been made in one piece. The Pontos ones are in different pieces. And we have whatever these are, they're not grab rails. I can't actually see what they are. Something that will bend up somewhere. Radars, I think. They're more, more ladders and rails and unbelievable. Now then, I've got a minute left. Alright, where are we up to now? Now we've got something that is very similar to the other one that was there. And this has davits. See the davits? Let's make sure I got that in line. Don't know what all this is, but we'll find out. There's a lot of it. It'll obviously go around something. No idea what all these bits are. There's some nice details in some of this. You can see a lot of nice bit of detail. Some of that might be for the aircraft, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure what a tiny little bit like that would be needed for. You have more stupid ladders. I have no idea what they are, but there's a nice bit of detail in them. Probably it picks it up very well, but you can just about see there's a decent bit of detail in them. It's quite nice, that detail. This is going to run out in 24 seconds. So let me just get the next bit out ready. And it's going to run out. So we've got, it's going to run out, let it just run out. No point me yapping on